Nowadays, there are two types of people living in this world. Those who are privileged and those who are underprivileged. You see, the privileged are like you and me. They have voices, but they tend to misuse their voices. While the underprivileged, they act like slaves. They don't have a voice, they don't even have a choice. So what is the point? There is no balance. But luckily for Malaysia, we have that balance. We can use that balance through the federal constitution. When you understand your basic rights, you will have balance in your country. So I'm Abdul Hakim Azhar, and today we're going to talk about two things from the Constitution, which is our basic rights. We're going to talk about Article 6, freedom from slavery, and Article 10, freedom of speech. Hope you'll enjoy the video. By definition, slavery is an act of owning another human being. When you are a slave, you must follow the whims of your master. What they told you to do, you must do it without choice, whether you like it or not. It's just like forced labor, it's the same thing. Currently, there are about 200,000 cases of human trafficking in Malaysia. 200,000. Did you know that? No. These 200,000 trafficking cases, they came from inside Malaysia, outside Malaysia. Some of them are children, some of them are just irresponsible. So here is my friend Mahadini, who's going to talk about Article 6 regarding forced labor.
Hello, my name is Mahadini and I will explain about Article 6 subsection 1 and Article 6 subsection 2. So Article 6 subsection 1 stated that no one can be held as a slave. Article 6 subsection 2 stated that any kind of forced labor are prohibited. That means that this article stated that any kind of slavery and forced labor are prohibited. Let's talk about our case study for today. So our case study is about orphans are being exploited by the owner of the Tahfiz institutions. Can you believe that? So these students need to sell products that were told by the owners. So they sell products such as oil and medicines, and the place that they need to sell is at restaurants and also at petrol pump stations. Male students will wear songkok with baju Melayu and with a sling bag. They will go to restaurants to sell the products, where female they will wear baju kurung and they will sell the products at the petrol pump stations. They even used a receipt that stated Pusat Tahfiz Amal on it, and it made people believe that they are helping these children, these poor children, but actually no. You know, these profits all went to the owner of the Tahfiz, which is Mr. Azhar Wahab. Mr. Azhar Wahab, or also known as SM Amin, used this money to enjoy his life and live in a leisure life. You must think that these children live in a good house, right? But actually no. No. Just look at their house. It's full with broken windows and a broken fence. Investigation that has been carried out, it seems that this institution has been received notice to close down this Pusat Tahfiz Amal. However, they keep on delaying it and change their premise. Finally, on March 2019, the Pusat Tahfiz Amal has been forced to shut down. I'm glad that this kind of syndicates has been exposed because no one deserves to be a slave and be forced to do a forced labor.
Now that would be a very scarring, dark impacts to the children. So as citizens of Malaysia, what can we do to stop this issue of slavery, of human trafficking? Easy. First, you have to spread the word. Spread the word through social media, through news. Not everyone knows about the fact of 200,000 cases in Malaysia about forced labor. Secondly, You can support the NGOs, TechSoup and Yayasan Amal. Those two help to reduce slavery. So you just give them money and they'll do the job for you. Just give them funds. And thirdly, if you see any shady business or something, just report to the authorities. That's it. It's very easy. So, very simple. You save the slave, you save the day. Next up, we'll go to Aiman and Azwa to talk about freedom of speech.
Assalamualaikum. I am Azwa. Today, let's talking about freedom of speech. The principle of freedom of speech is that people can express their opinion, criticize without fear. People are free to criticize politics as well as to criticize the government. Freedom of speech is essential to ensuring that people have the right to freedom of speech and to promote democracy in the country. However, is the freedom of expression even more a multiracial country like ours? People now look bolder and more aggressive in expressing their opinion, especially in this modern world like on social media. This social medium is more open and free. By now, it is more free without resistance or restriction from the government. Expression and voice can change the fate of government, the fate of society, the fate of individual and more. There are many people with voice and opinion. Sometimes people feel insignificant in their view, that they do not want to speak. But why do people not want to speak? Maybe they are afraid of being asked out. Maybe they are afraid of their opinion. Maybe they are trying to keep others hurt. However, let it wrong because it is not always right for others. People also need to balance between talking and listening. If everyone wants to talk at the same time, so who should we listen to? Not everyone can speak at the same time, but all have the right and the space to speak up even when the issues are described as uncomfortable, sensitive, have the potential to upset people. Everything is the right to freedom of speech. So the democracy of the conversation that is taking place is actually without restriction. Everything is the right to freedom of speech. Discussion of democracy are discussions that take place, for example, in the board, at work, and even at home. Through this, as we know the will of people and this is process of the right to freedom of speech. I think that's all. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Aiman Omran. Today I would like to talk about the freedom of speech. So it can be proven in the case of University Kebangsaan Malaysia case in 2010, there were a student who actually joined the parliament election at the Hulu Selangor back 2010, and at that time the students were entitled for certain possession campaign material. So the university actually charged this student about the disciplinary in the Article 15 subsection 5A of the University and the University College Act 1971, and in short we call it as UUCA, that charge them about the disciplinary to join any political party to actually support and to actually support them to become one of their leadership lineup. So in this case, what do you think about it? So in this case, they actually talk about the unreasonable for the section 15 subsection 5A of the UUCA. Is it unreasonable? Is it unconstitutional? So in this case, the section 15 subsection 5A of the UUCA is actually unreasonable and thus represent the unconstitutional because when we talk about the Article 10 subsection 2A is actually need to possess the reasonable one for the student to pick up on the freedom of speech. So it is actually bound to the Article 10 subsection 2A that talk about the freedom of speech. So the students actually love to speak up. So it's actually unconstitutional for them to speak up and what they want. So yeah, that's all about me. Thank you.
And that was about freedom of speech. So we learned that you can't say everything apparently. It's called freedom of speech, but it doesn't mean that it's limitless. There's things that are still taboo. So all in all, what did we learn today? We learned about freedom from slavery and the freedom of speech. So use this knowledge to keep balance in the world. With balance comes easiness, come calm and peace. So have a nice day. Keep it balanced. Bye. Assalamualaikum.